Grand Rising. Grand Rising to Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot. And Grand Rising to Her Excellency Darlene Ondi, our Press Secretary and Acting Chief of Staff. Grand Rising to my fellow national ministers and national deputy ministers. And Grand Rising to everyone who is present here today with us and joining us online from around the Kingdom of Canada and around the world. Today is November 4, day 1 of 7, and it's a beautiful day here in Richmond, the capital of Saskatchewan in the Kingdom of Canada. I am alive, and I am Her Excellency Wendy Ann Charlton, National Minister of Well, appointed by Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot. I am also appointed as Deputy Press Secretary, and I am honored and privileged to have been appointed. And this is a great privilege, and with a great privilege comes great responsibility. And I am here for the safety, security, and sovereignty of all the IAMs of the Kingdom of Canada and the IAMs around the world. I am your host of the Kingdom of Canada's ministers. And welcome to all IAMs in the Kingdom of Canada, and welcome to the VIPs of the VIPs, who are our baby boys and baby girls, and they are our future. Welcome to the ancestors, and without them, we would not be here today in Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot's timeline and in the new era. Welcome to our honored guests who are watching online. We have heads of state, presidents, prime ministers, crown princes, crown princesses, majesties, kings and queens, emperors and empresses. And welcome to all the 7 continents of the North and South America, Africa, Asia, Australia, Eurasia, and the Middle East and Antarctica. Welcome to the provincial ministers and city coordinators. And today it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you again His Excellency Derrick Jancke, who is our National Minister of Transport, and he has just been appointed National Minister of Oil and Gas. Welcome, and I'll let you take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Her Excellency. I guess I'll start with my oath. I am His Excellency Derrick Jancke, swear by the benevolent Grand Master Creator to be loyal to the Kingdom of Canada's nationals, the Kingdom of Canada and Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot, not to divulge any of the state secrets, to maintain its interest and regulations internally and externally, and to perform my duties with honor, honesty, integrity, and sincerity. As Minister of Transport, I will do the following. Number 1, harm not we the people of the Kingdom of Canada. The Kingdom of Canada, Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot, and we the people of the world. Number 2, develop transportation policies and programs to ensure safe, secure, efficient, and responsible transportation in A, aviation, B, marine transportation, C, road transportation, D, rail transportation, E, dangerous goods, and F, transportation security. Number 3, all commercial truck drivers are trained and qualified based upon requirements specified in Royal Decree number 70250. And number 4, before signing any contract or contracts, I must ask myself and those working with me the following question. A, is it good for the Kingdom of Canada? B, is it good for we the people of the Kingdom of Canada? If the answer is no to either A or B, or both, sign the contract not. Number 5, over budget, unauthorized spending, and corruption, 0. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
And thank you for that.
Thank you. So I'd like to start firstly with to read Royal Decree 250 because I feel it's important to the trucking industry because we have such a issue with, how would I say it, foreign drivers getting their license and they don't even know how to speak English. So how do they read the signs, communicate, and in my line of duty it's more safety and security. So
Yes, we have to concentrate on the safety and the security and the sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada.
correct. So I'd like to just touch base on this one decree because I think it means a lot. So here we go. September 14th, 2024, in the Kingdom of Canada, urgent and urgent. Royal Decree number 70250. Re, safety, security, and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada's transport infrastructure, trade and commerce, nationalization forthwith. I am Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot, Commander-in-Chief, President, National Indigenous Chief, and Queen of the Kingdom of Canada, hereby issue this royal decree effective immediately, dated today, September 14th, as follows under natural law. Section 1, nationalization. Forthwith, the unique and critical role of managing and safeguarding the transport industry that plays a vital role in the trade and commerce of the Kingdom of Canada under the Kingdom of Canada's control is effectively nationalized. Section 2, costs and fees. Forthwith, costs and fees for safety inspections, certificates, annual permits, and commercial licenses and license plates are as follows. A, National Safety Inspection Certificate, cost per truck is free across the Kingdom of Canada. This will be issued by the National Minister of Transport exclusively. License plate costs for all types and numbers of axles of commercial trucks is free across the Kingdom of Canada. This will be issued by the Minister of Transport exclusively. 0 additional costs from any subordinates or parallel jurisdictions permitted across the Kingdom of Canada. Section 2, SPIF axles requirements. SPIF axle requirements on heavy haulers, triaxle dump trucks equals SPIF, S-P-I-F-F. Axle requirements is 0. Section 3, education program. Truck drivers training program, free for Canadian nationals only. A, Canadian nationals must have spent a minimum of 15 years consecutively inside the Kingdom of Canada to qualify for this free commercial truck driving training program to register in this program. Only Canadian nationals can register and participate in this truck driving training program. This truck driving training is for driving commercial trucks, tractors, dump trucks, etc. across the kingdom. Section 4, in-classroom training. forthwith, 1,000 hours in classroom lessons with following components. Know your truck inside and out. Know your road signs. Know how to drive on ice. Know how to drive on snow. Driving at night. Driving during daytime. Defensive driving. Road signaling. Driving in the ditch. Where to park on the road. Zero alcohol. Zero illicit drugs. How to operate trucker's radio. How to call for help. How to read maps if GPS fails. Safety of truck. Your personal safety while on the road. Parking parallel. Backing up 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. Parking turns. Driving down a steep hill. And driving down a curved highway. And when and where to not use cruise control. Section 5, on the road driver's training, 1,000 hours. On the road truck instructor supervised. Driving experience, Her Royal Majesty, I am Queen Romana Didalo of the Kingdom of Canada, dated 24/09/14. Section 6, apprenticeship, A, 1,000 hours apprenticeship, on the road driving experience. B, apprentice must be supervised by a commercial truck driver who accumulated a minimum of 10 years at 40 hours per week of driving on the road as commercial truck driver. Section 7, English language proficiency certificate, in capital letters, IELTS, at cost. A, truck driver student must score a minimum of 95% on International English Language Testing System. Is an international standardized test of English language. Proficiency for native and non-native English language speakers. B, the cost of this English language examination is paid for by the student, and this is administered by a third-party company. Section 8, license and certification. Special note, only after successful completion of the following: 1, in classroom, 1,000 hours, formal instructions and student passing with a minimum of 95% on final exam. 2, on the road drivers, instructor supervised, 1,000 hours, and student passed their final exam with a minimum of 95%. Number 3, apprenticeship, 1,000 hours, supervised and evaluated by a national certified truck driver with a minimum 10 years fully commercial truck driving experience in the Kingdom of Canada. Number 9, Section 9, highway safety and fraudulent commercial truck driving schools. Highway safety, A, forthwith, close all private truck driving schools who offered classes exclusively in another language other than English and or French in the province of Quebec for endangering public safety across the Kingdom of Canada. Forthwith, seize all company banks, assets, and holdings and personal bank accounts of the owners of the board of directors of private truck driving schools who offered classes exclusively in another language other than English and or French in the province of Quebec for endangering public safety across the Kingdom of Canada. And C, forthwith arrest and charge all national, provincial, and municipal personnel who approve the above unlawful business activities. D, forthwith arrest and charge with financial fraud, money laundering, domestic terrorism, and terrorism all owners and board of directors of private truck driving schools who offer classes exclusively in another language other than English and or French in the province of Quebec for endangering public safety across the Kingdom of Canada. It's pretty lengthy here. I'll just touch on the highlights of the rest of them
All right.
to make it, so people can follow up on it.
It's very thorough, very thorough.
It's thorough, but we have to address the problem with the truck drivers.
Yes,
We know there's a problem already, and if we don't get this out there, to inform people, it'll make a difference. So I'll just highlight the next few here. Section 10, fraudulent truck driving school closures. Number 2, forthwith arrest and charge fraudulent commercial truck driver owners, executive boards, members of boards of directors of companies, staff who've received $40,000 payments for students, and after 2 years in the Kingdom of Canada, the students were given their citizenship, and criminal charges are as follows. Section 11, seize and seizure. Forthwith search and freeze all assets and holding fraudulent commercial truck drivers and schools, executive board and board of directors, and their companies. Section 12, no-fly list, includes the individuals, fraudulent commercial truck drivers, executive board and board of directors in the no-fly list. So they're just targeting them all, like no more.
it's all covered.
It's all covered. And then here, mechanical inspections, mechanical safety inspections of every truck. Forthwith, 0 virtual mechanical safety inspections. Only on-site physical mechanical safety inspections is authorized. Section 15, trucking business owners, business owner trainings, reference manual, trucking industry. It's another thing we got to make, is a new manual for them.
Oh, yes.
Because the old system was, I went through it, and it's like 170 pages for a truck driving manual. We're going to simplify that, and they're going to have to learn. Section 16, national and provincial highways truck drivers and public rest stops across the Kingdom of Canada. Highway truck rest stops will access to, this is a good one, every 100 kilometers, build rest stops to accommodate 20 to 50 truck drivers, 20 to 50 truck tractors and trailers, recreation vehicles, RVs, and travel trailers or fifth wheels, and cars with the following amenities. Every 500 kilometers, build a rest stop to accommodate 100 to 200 trucks and tractors and trailers, recreation vehicles, RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and cars within the following amenities. And we have everything. We got, they're going to have showers for masculine, feminine, and family. B, washrooms for masculine, feminine, and family. Wheelchair accessible. Children change rooms. Laundry facilities. Restaurants. Gasoline stations. Resting pods, sleeping pods for families with children, adults, and singles. And one-stop shop, truckers, RVs, trailer owners, drivers, to buy tools and equipment to make small repairs to their vehicles.
Well, isn't that exciting? I'm not a trucker, but I'm sure excited about that.
Yeah, and for people that have traveled across Canada, the
Yes.
Kingdom of Canada, there's not too many rest stops.
No, there's not.
You know,
So this would be a welcome,
it is.
yeah.
That's why I thought I'd go over this decree because
I'm glad that you did
you know.
because it's so important,
Well, yeah, it is. You see the changes in the new era is what I see.
yeah.
So, and then, general contractors nationality forthwith ensure all general contractors, previously known as employees at the Ministry of Transport Canada are Canadian nationals across the kingdom. So Her Royal Majesty just nailed it with this royal decree. Um, we reached out to some truckers to find out what their problems were.
And
And
yes,
Her Royal Majesty addressed them
address
thoroughly.
them, yes.
You know,
So where would our IMs go to find this royal decree in its entirety so that they could read through it at their leisure again?
they could go to the Kingdom of Canada website and go in there. There's 261 royal decrees now. So
All under natural law?
all under natural law, yes.
Yes, and that is www.thekingdomofcanada.ca.
Yeah,
And you would be able to go and read this total royal decree, and that number is 250.
250. Yeah. And while we're on that, then we're going to change a little bit here now. Since my portfolio is so vast that that was the trucking industry, like road transportation, and I also have marine, rail, and aviation. And I'd like to read another policy or another decree that was made November 21st in the Kingdom of Canada. The Kingdom of Ports Policy. Notice, policing authority of all ports is now transferred to the Kingdom of Canada's Navy and Special Forces, effective immediately. Royal decree to follow, and so it is. You know,
And that was dated November
21st,
1st, 2023.
you know, so that's eliminating any corruption that was there. And now we have the Canadian Navy and the Special Forces there. And I can attest to there's some pretty good stuff happening there already.
Oh, great.
So there's another one. And then I'd like to touch on another royal decree that means so much to us is the aviation industry. Royal Decree number 249. It's read safety and security and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada, the civil air navigation, nationalization forthwith. If people don't know what forthwith means, that means immediately. So I am Her Royal Majesty, Queen Romana Dilo, Commander-in-Chief, President, National Indigenous Chief, and the Queen of the Kingdom of Canada, hereby issue this royal decree effective immediately, dated September 10th, 2024, as follows under natural law. Forthwith, the unique and critical role of managing the 18 million square kilometers of the Kingdom of Canada's civil airspace and the North Atlantic Ocean airspace under the Kingdom of Canada's control is effectively nationalized. That's huge. This is to protect the safety and security and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada. Only corrupt and incompetent politicians and bureaucrats would privatize and hand over the full control of the management of our airspace to a non-profit private company. And that's what happened to us. They turned it over to NAV Canada years back so they could let anybody come in, and we didn't know who it was. So that they could bring drugs, uh, anybody, like.
Anything.
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 There was no control over our airspace. So now with that decree, she just nationalized it, so that's.
So that's been nationalized by
Correct.
Her Royal
And
Majesty Queen
we
Romana
have
Diderot.
yes, we have such a vast airspace, what was it, 18 million square kilometers?
Wow.
That's a huge area. So that's another good thing. What other highlight do I have here? The Kingdom of Canada's civil air navigation customers include airlines, business aviation, air cargo operators, air charter, air taxis, helicopter operators, and general aviation pilots and owners. So this is good for everybody. And now with our new Space Force, can't hide from them. And then there's another one, just to highlight here something, Royal Decree 252. It's on electric vehicles. The safety, security, and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada, transport infrastructure, infrastructure and highways, trade and commerce, permanent ban on electric vehicles forthwith. Electric vehicle manufacturing electric vehicles prohibited and permanently banned in the Kingdom of Canada. Section 2, electric vehicles exporting. Forthwith, the exporting of electric vehicles is prohibited and permanently banned in the Kingdom of Canada. You know what I mean? So that's all saving our infrastructure and vehicles because they're not safe.
No, they're not.
They burn. People don't realize that. The lithium batteries they use are no good.
No, they're
So-
very, very dangerous.
Yeah. So there's another royal decree I'd like to touch on that goes under transportation, and that's Royal Decree number 259. And read, protection, safety, security, and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada and we the people of the Kingdom of Canada. Nationalization of Highway 407 in the province of Ontario of the Kingdom of Canada. I am Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Diderot, Commander-in-Chief, President, National Indigenous Chief, and Queen of the Kingdom of Canada, hereby issue this Royal Decree dated October 22nd, 2024, to all Kingdom of Canada and Global Special Allied Forces and respective ministries to action forthwith. This Royal Decree is specifically herein under natural law. Number 1, forthwith, in all matters pertaining to the protection, safety, and security and sovereignty of the Kingdom of Canada, Highway 407 ETR is herewith nationalized.
So tell me what that highway being nationalized means.
Well, if people do some research, you'll find out more, but I'll brief you. What it was is that highway was leased, or that land was leased to a foreign company, a foreign country. So in that lease, there was an agreement that nothing could be built around that 407 area, a certain distance or whatever clause they had. If you do your research, you'll find out. So, as my experience in GTA or in Southern Ontario, we always wondered why they wouldn't expand because they needed highways, open up the highways down there to relieve the congestion. Well,
Now you know.
now that now that Her Royal Majesty nationalized the 407, basically it's a we the people's highway, and you don't have to pay no more. It was a pay
Did you
toll.
have to pay
It was a
before?
pay toll highway. So now that Her Royal Majesty nationalized it, there's no more pay toll.
Oh.
So now,
So where do you think where was that money going to the country that had the The highway?
If you do your research, you'll find out, yes. It
Oh.
wasn't going to us, we the people.
No, obviously it wasn't going
Yeah.
to us.
And
And obviously,
millions or billions of
you're not
dollars.
gonna tell me I have
Well,
to do my own research, but
yeah,
that's a good thing,
It is. It's good for we the people.
yes.
And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is, for safety and security, if you're familiar down there, it's a 401 corridor. It's a main route across from east to west in southern Ontario. Well, with the 407, you had to pay lots of money to run trucks on, so all the trucks stayed on the 401, so it just created a big
Oh,
congestion.
congestion.
Yeah,
Oh.
so they run that 407, so whoever wanted to pay, those are the only ones that run it.
So, do you have any idea what it would cost to run the 407?
When I was down there, it's about, I've heard, if you run it one end to the other, which is almost 100 kilometers, or a little more than that, it could cost you anywhere from $50 to $60.
Because that's one way.
Yeah.
So
So
if you're
you
gonna
could-
come back that way, you gotta pay again?
And that's per day, if you take it every day.
Wow,
So-
so that would be $120 max a
Roughly,
day.
I'm just giving you a rough
Okay,
figure, yeah.
yes, we're not gonna hold you on that,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to know for my own.
And if you tally that up, how long's that highway been there? And how long have we the people been paying?
Long time,
And you know what? Not no more.
not anymore.
You know, so,
Well, I'm
that
glad that
gets-
you brought that one up, and
Yeah.
what number's that
That's
royal decree?
Royal Decree 259.
259,
And,
and the IMs can go and read it in its entirety?
That's like I say, I'll be working closely with Her Excellency Darlene Ondy. She's Minister of Infrastructure and Highways.
Mhm.
So I'll be working closely with her in the foreseeable future. So I just thought I'd just touch on that one so IAMs could see that good things are happening. Like,
Oh, yes,
you know,
we're moving in this new era, we're in
Yeah.
it, and we're just moving ahead.
exactly. And I'd like to touch quickly on the Royal Decree 261, the big one, that just come out the other day, November 1st, 2024. Again, you can go to the website, kingdomofcanada.ca, and you can read the entirety. But for my ministry, the huge thing I noticed was in Section 2, International Airports, permanent change, effective November 10th, 2024 at 12 a.m. All international airports, tarmacs, and runways shall be closed exactly at 12 a.m. and reopened daily at 6 a.m. This means the control tower personnel will authorize the last international aircraft to land at 11:59 precisely. This change is permanent across the Kingdom of Canada. And Section 2, a touchless, top-of-the-line X-ray handling machine must be procured and installed to prevent airport staff / ports of entry staff touching / handling travelers' luggage. Section B, all airport personnel or border service agents are effectively prohibited from handling travelers' luggage unless the X-ray machine finds or detects something that requires the opening of travelers' luggage or luggages. And then Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot, a top-line conveyor-built facility must be procured and installed at all airports, railroads, and seaports, terminals forthwith to enable ground crews to transfer travelers' luggage without physically handling and touching them. Section D, control tower crews must provide enough time for border service agents at the counter to process each aircraft load off passengers, let's say 30-minute intervals, before loading another plane. This will enable for better control of passenger flow in and around the airport. And then Section C, commercial transport trucks will be allowed to enter and exit the Kingdom of Canada as per usual, commercial operating hours. Each one will be x-rayed and boarded with inspection by border officers in person. So, again, here's bringing in the new technology. And it's,
And it's really not new technology, it's been around for a long time, it's just new for us, right?
it's new for us. And I can say that Kingdom of Canada is probably going to be one of the leading safety and securest places.
Well, that's very good to know.
Remember, her Royal Majesty always said, Canada first.
Yes.
So, good things are coming. Yeah, so that touches on that. Like I say, please go to the Kingdom of Canada. There's all the new laws under natural law, and
All the royal decrees
Yeah.
are there, and you can read the full royal decree and take
That's
your
right.
time,
that's right.
and they're all very easy to read. There's no fine print. It's all just straightforward and very easy to understand.
That's right. Yeah. And dangerous goods. It's under my portfolio, and we'll be addressing that too. Like there's changes that can be made there.
Okay.
But we're just in the process of it all, just kind of giving everybody a rough idea of
What?
what's involved, yeah.
Yes.
So now I'd just like to give you a quick, a rough, just to show you how much we have, like roads and trains, like the mileage and everything. The Ministry of Transport is responsible for one of the largest appointments portfolios in the government of Canada, which is now defunct, with 56 portfolio organizations, which include 9 Crown Corporation, 4 administrative tribunal agencies, 21 airport authorities, 17 port authorities, and 5 other shared governances. So it's a pretty big portfolio.
I'm sure that's going to keep you busy.
Oh yeah, and Canada is the 3rd largest airspace sector in the world.
But I feel that you're very passionate about what you're doing, so.
I have an interest in it, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
I've been around it,
Yes.
and what people might not know is we have NORAD.
Oh, yes, NORAD.
So we'll just leave it at that, and if anybody thinks they can come into the Kingdom of Canada, like I say, Canada first. Then here's another thing. Canada's airspace is immense, given the country's largest geographical size. It extends not only over a mass, but also over parts of the Arctic and Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. This includes controlled airspace, which is managed by air traffic control, and uncontrolled airspace. Its crucial part is global information, given Canada's strategic location between the continents. So it's pretty immense. And now I'd like to touch a little bit onto road transportation. There are more than 1.4 million two-lane equivalent lane kilometers of public road in Canada. About 40% of the road network is paved, while 60% is unpaved. 4 provinces, Ontario, Quebec, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, account for over 75% of the total road length. That's a lot of roads.
Oh, that's a lot.
You know what I mean? And we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Me and Her Excellency Darlene and the Ministry of Infrastructure and Highways. There's going to be some pretty smooth roads coming up soon.
Well, I'm interested in that too, because my ministry is the Minister of Well, and the med beds will be going into the ambulances will be converted,
Everything, planes,
planes, trains,
automobiles, you name it.
everything.
Everything's
So
getting out for there.
I'm really interested in this because
Yeah,
that's all connected. It's all part of it.
yes, yes it is. And again, I could touch on some more numbers here roughly. Like you got all your provinces, like roads that's gotta be, we're gonna make sure that all the roads is gonna be, we're gonna upgrade them all. So.
We won't be having gravel roads.
No, oh no, oh
No, that's
No,
archaic, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be total upgrade. Some highways are gonna be a foot thick of asphalt. So,
To make a good solid bed, right?
yeah, there's no more playing around,
No,
Once people realize where all our money went,
and that seal coating that they used to do, all that was good for, was
Yeah,
breaking your
no.
windshields and
Yeah.
scratching up your vehicles and getting tar on you.
that's right. And now here's a quick summary of each province, like you say, Yukon, like core roads. Like core roads is like main roads into infrastructures and mining and stuff like that. Like you got 2,000 in Yukon, Northwest Territories, you got 1,400 kilometers. British Columbia is over 7,000. Alberta, 4,400 kilometers. Saskatchewan has 2,700. Manitoba has 2,100. Ontario has 7,000. Quebec has 5,700 kilometers. New Brunswick, 1,800. PEI has over 400 kilometers. Nova Scotia has 1,200. And Newfoundland and Labrador have 2,500. So that's a rough total of 38,000 kilometers of just core main highway roads. So it's a lot of work to maintain, and we're going to make them better for everybody to ride on. And then if you go back and look at that one decree that I read about rest stops every 100 or 500 kilometers, start figuring that out in those numbers. That's a lot of rest stops we're going to have.
Well, and it's a good distance to travel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if you travel 500 kilometers a day,
Well, that's nothing really.
that's really nothing, but if you decided to map your route that you wanted to just take your time and travel along,
Yeah.
and it will be leisurely traveling because everything's going to be free.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about getting there and, fast and then turning
Yes.
around and getting back.
That's right. What's all IMs? We're going to know shortly, eh?
Yes, they will.
So now I'll touch a little bit on the waterways. Port of Vancouver is the busiest port in Canada. Transport Canada oversees all nationalized and regular functions related to marine registration, safety of large vessels, and port pilotage duties. That is, when you get into the inland lakes, where ships are what they call seagoing vessels come in, they have to have a pilot vessel go out and bring a pilot
Oh,
to pilot the vessel through inland waters.
to pilot them through, okay.
Yes, so once you could, in a little bit here, I'll show you, there's lots of, not canals, but,
Let's just call them waterways.
yeah, locks, sorry.
Yeah,
The
locks.
locks, So
Locks.
you can't have new people coming into the locks, And then inland waterways comprise 3,000 kilometers or 1,900 miles, including the St. Lawrence Seaway Transport, enforces Act regulations and government. You know what I mean? So we got a vast waterway system. We got marine transportation. We got roughly 559 port facilities, 866 fishing harbors, 129 recreation harbors, 18 ports, including Canada's major ports, that that are in the, it's just vast, you know? And then the Great Lakes St. Lawrence River, that system is huge. And then I'd like to touch a little bit on our ferries. Ferry services, we got passenger service, Vancouver Island and surrounding islands and peninsulas in the British Columbia mainland, several Sunshine Coast and communities to the British Columbia mainland and to Alaska, internationally to St. Pierre and McCullen, automobile ferry service. We got Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador, Quebec to Newfoundland, and across the Strait of Belle Isle, Labrador and Newfoundland, Chandler and the Magdalen Island, Quebec, Prince Edward Island to the Magdalen Island, Quebec, Prince Edward Island to Nova Scotia, Digby, Nova Scotia to St. John, New Brunswick. So this portfolio is just huge. So there's
Oh, I was just thinking that, you're gonna have to really, you know,
basically what I want to do is just kind of touch on this, just to show people how vast, like, how much Kingdom of Canada has. Like, you think we don't got much, but I mean,
we have everything.
and, oh yeah. And this is just my duties, right? My portfolio to be
Yes.
after, right? And then here I can touch on a little bit of the canals. The main route and canals, Canada, use the St. Lawrence and the Great Lakes, and other subsidiaries canals. And we got the St. Lawrence Seaway, the Welland Canal, Soo Locks, Severn Waterway, and the Rideau Canal. You know, like it's just vast. And I'd like to just touch a little bit on the St. Lawrence. The St. Lawrence Seaway released new figures on its performance. As of the end of August, 19.5 million metric tons of cargo have been shipped on the St. Lawrence Seaway so far this navigation season. The consistency and reliability of the binational system makes it a key supply chain link, moving goods that drive the North American economy. The Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway system supports over 350,000 jobs across the U.S. and Canada, in a region that, if it were its own country, we'd be the third largest economy in the world.
Wow.
So it's just incredible. From the food we consume, highlighting increasing shipments of grain and potash, the materials and fuel, and support transportation and building infrastructure across North America, the seaways keep costs down. So it's just, then we got cargo numbers continue to improve. Canadian ports on the vessels who are keeping the vital products like grain and steel moving efficiently through the Great Lakes maritime supply chain. Cargo, which showed a significant increase compared to the same period in 2023. Grain, 5.2 million metric tons of Canadian and U.S. grain, up 277,000 metric tons, like 5.6%. Like, it's increasing more and more and more, right? Even petroleum, 1.8 million metric tons of petroleum products. Steel, iron and steel, 1.3 million metric tons. And that's all running up through our St. Lawrence Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway system. So it's a vast piece of land and waterway and everything to take care of. What else do we got here? The Great Lakes The Great Lakes St. Lawrence also encourages the development and trade through the Great Lakes Seaways, which contributes to the comprehensive economic and environmental development of the Great Lakes region. Some 241,000 jobs in the Great Lakes region at about $36 billion in that economic activity. That's just the Great Lakes system.
That's just the Great Lakes.
Right.
Wait until the big megaports start.
Yeah, true. I never never say anything about that. We've got 3 megaports going in
Yes.
the north,
In the north.
Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. And they're supposed to take container ships twice the size that they use in the Suez Canal,
And it will be 2 weeks faster.
and plus 2 weeks faster. Now, people got
Exciting.
to wonder, if we're moving shipping up there, what's going to happen to the weather?
Well, the weather's another thing we could talk about some other time.
We'll let them do the research on
Yeah,
that.
we'll let them, yeah.
Okay, then, there's another thing here. Again, under my portfolio, it's the Federal Bridge Corporation Limited. I have bridges under my portfolio. Blue Water Bridge in Point Edward, Ontario. The Seaway International Bridge in Cornwall. The Sault Ste. Marie International Bridge in Sault Ste. Marie. Thousand Island International Bridge in Thousand Islands. You know, so it keeps on going. And I haven't even touched on the rail yet. Now look at the rail. Rail transportation. There's over 45,200 route kilometers of track. Includes 19 intermodule terminals operated by either Canadian National, CP, to run truck and rail containers, intermodule service. 27 rail border crossings to the U.S. It's just immense. Rail operations serve nearly every part of the Canadian economy, including manufacturing, agriculture, natural resources, wholesale, retail sector, and tourism. Canada has extended railway system used to transport mainly freight to and from the U.S. and international markets via coastal ports, as well as passenger across Canada. The freight sector. The freight rail transportation sector specializes in moving heavy bulk commodities and containerized traffic over long distances. Canada has 2 major Class 1 freight railways, CN and CP, which are responsible for most freight rail traffic. Large US-based carriers also operate in Canada. Examples including Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway Company, CSX. Together, CN, CP, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway Company provides strategic links in the trade route between Canada and the U.S. and Mexico, and BNSFF service to Canada's Pacific Gateway gives Vancouver the unique advantage of being the only port in North America west coast served by 3 Class 1 railroads.
So how is that going to be when we get that maglev train going?
Well, maglev, I think, is more passenger. You know, maybe it should be freight. I'm not fully up on that one yet. But if you move freight at 600 plus miles an hour,
Yeah.
you better fasten her down pretty good.
Well,
But did they not say that you could stand a quarter,
and they did say you could stand a quarter.
right?
So I'm just thinking that all of these new, the maglev trains and the railroad system there, but I don't think we'll be exporting too much
No.
until the Kingdom of Canada is fully self-sufficient
Correct, yeah.
for whatever
That's
is
right.
needed. Canada first, right?
Canada first, yeah. I think the maglev first will be passenger.
Well,
It's gonna move the passengers first, right?
I would hope that would be.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see the whole
That's
Kingdom
right.
of Canada and go back and forth in a day and be able to
Exactly.
go from
Coast to coast,
coast to coast to coast to coast.
have breakfast on the west coast and jump on the maglev and go for lunch on the east coast.
Well, I gotta get to the west coast first, so I jump on it and go to the west coast first.
That's a good one. Just to finish off here quick, in terms of equipment, Class 1 railway carriers have had 2,400 locomotives in 2019. Like, that's the engines, just to pull the freight. So that's, I mean, out here in the west coast, or out in the west, on the prairies, I've seen rail trains 2 kilometers long. You know, so, and I think I've seen up to 5 engines per train, so, locomotive, sorry.
Yeah,
So-
to pull that, yeah,
Yeah,
you need
but
that.
just giving you a rough idea, that's all about what I'm doing to the
Well,
IAMs, eh?
yes, I think that's a good idea to give
Yeah.
a
And
rough
then-
idea.
Just to finish off here quick, with 50,970 freight cars, mainly hoppers, mainly hopper cars, box cars, flat cars, and gondolas, and about 451 passenger cars. There are 70 companies that fall under the authority of the Railway Safety Act. Shortline Railway transports 34.4 billion worth of freight on the average to and from continental rail networks. So it's just a vast portfolio. And then we got our passenger rail, which is National Rail Via. They're based more in Southern Ontario, but they run across the kingdom. Most of its services are in central Canada along the Quebec-Windsor corridor. Via rail also operates long-haul passenger routes between Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal and Halifax, as well as regional services to destinations such as Jasper, Prince Rupert, Winnipeg, Churchill. Via operates 202 trains, departures weekly on a 1,250 kilometer network. So it's just a vast portfolio of rail.
But I can see how excited you are about it.
It is exciting, yeah. I call it air, land, sea, and, it's just great. It's gonna be good.
So, with that being said, are you gonna come back on and we'll talk about oil and gas at some point here?
At some point, yes.
But we're not gonna talk about oil and gas tonight.
No, we will leave that because
This AM.
it's too fresh. We'll have to do some more research on that. We've got lots of stuff happening already, and it's exciting for we the people.
It is.
So, as for that, I think that's just a quick, let people know how vast a transportation system we have in the Kingdom of Canada.
And what we can look forward to in the Kingdom of Canada.
A lot of
all
great-
of the new, I'm not gonna say new technologies because
I
they've
will.
already been here.
Yeah, but not in our visual, we haven't seen it, but we are going to. I
Yes,
can verify that.
yes.
And we're gonna be number one.
We already are number one.
Yes. We're gonna add to it for
Yes.
safety and security.
Yes.
So, no, it's gonna be good.
I'm very happy that you came on and gave us all that information, and I'm sure that the IMs are very interested in everything that you did.
No, like I say, that basically just gives you a quick overall synopsis.
Snapshot.
Yeah, synopsis on what we what's up and coming and what's to look after and, you know, safety and security and sovereignty is
Of the Kingdom of
of the
Canada.
Kingdom of
And
Canada.
that's the most important,
That's
and the
number
new
one,
era. And so I guess with that, I'm going
Yeah.
to thank everyone for being with us, and thank you for your time. And we will see you again, and with that, we're going to say
Peace,
love,
love,
and
prosperity.
prosperity. Thank you.